Need a way to bring some serious cash flow into your business like yesterday, right? You're gonna wish you saw this video a long time ago. I promise you right now, I'm about to dive right into exactly what it takes to create a profit-fulfilling campaign inside your business with an existing offer, a brand new offer, doesn't matter. Let's get right into it. So the first thing that comes to my mind is the why. Why you need to be running these campaigns. I'm talking at least quarterly, right? Every other month is fine. Every month is even fine. It's just making sure that you are running them, right? Why? Because at the end of the day, it's going to help you to pull out leads within your audience in a way that does not feel as salesy as the way you may have been doing it or continue to do it on an evergreen basis. You may be thinking, I just reached out to Sally a month ago. She's going to think, man, Justice, why are you hitting me up again? I don't even need your stuff. XYZ, I told you, get back to me whenever, right? But when you have these campaigns, this is going to allow you to create something special. Allow you to create something that's going to make them want to go ahead and raise their hand. And so you don't have to always be the one reaching out yourself now, right? That's where you start to have these leadership-based conversations just coming into play and becoming so powerful and effective there. So that's a big reason. And then to add on top of that, it doesn't require a lot of work. That is one of the things where so many people teach these launches, these challenges, these major pieces that in reality are like a true energy suck for like a solid 5 days. And that doesn't even include any of the preparation. I'm talking about just going ahead and executing on this major challenge here. When it comes to the right type of campaign, these profit fulfilling campaigns we're talking about right now, these truly do not have to require much energy. And when it comes down to it, after your first one, you're gonna have so many templates and pieces to make your life so much easier for the next. It's gonna take you half the time, right? I'm telling you on that side there, maybe even less than half the time, honestly, or more than half the time, whatever the fraction works on that one. But I'm telling you here, the beauty with this is because it does not require so much time, unlike so many other methods. So I want to show you exactly what the pillars are to help you start executing on that right now. So the first piece I want you to be mindful of that I feel like everyone just seems to overlook because they don't like to tie in their business into their reality of life there, which is the campaign timings. As an example, at the time of me recording this video right now, it is technically November 28th, right? And so Black Friday was not too long ago here. And when it comes out of Black Friday, everybody is running campaigns left and right. Everyone's throwing deals out left and right here. For me, I did not. And I'll tell you why. It's because I knew come Friday, I wanted to be hanging with my family. I wanted to be relaxing. I wanted to be making sure that I was taking care of myself and realistically honoring the extra time that I set aside for myself to not be working honestly there. So that's where for me, I ended up not doing anything where it's like, yeah, maybe I could have gotten people, some of my audience members were expecting a deal. I'd rather take that loss because when it comes down to it, I'd rather make it realistic. We're building a business that revolves around us, our lifestyle, our time. And I'd rather choose a campaign timing that's going to work a lot better for me than it does everyone else, because I'm not going to be able to be at full capacity if I'm just focusing on everyone else and not considering arguably the most important part, the person who's running the campaign there. So that's why I say campaign timing is huge. One of my mentors told me, probably I think it was like a Christmas or two ago, he said, we were talking about running campaigns, and he was saying how he's not running a campaign until like the new year because last thing he wants to be doing is running a campaign come Christmas Eve through the new year, right? So that is like the prime family spending time. So when it comes down to it, keep this in mind when it comes down to it, right? Do you have like a birthday party coming up? Do you have like a vacation coming up? One of my best campaigns I had, I think it was like the second ever 50K month I had. It was right before I went away for a trip that actually we're heading out to the beach for like a 2-week vacation. And I based the campaign lead that led pretty much right up until like the day before it ended there, or the day before the actual vacation started. So keep these pieces in mind because you don't want to slip up and get really caught out of the pocket, because these campaigns, you want to be in it. You want to be in it. But once again, let's show you exactly what in it looks like. All right, I told you I'm going to keep this one short. All right, so like I said here, we got 2 P's. And the first P is simple. The second P, we're going to break that down. This first P, preparation. Preparation. I cannot bring that word up enough when it comes to campaigns. How many times I've been caught unprepared with my campaigns. How many countless times it feels like clients and students of ours have been caught by surprise when it comes to those campaigns as well there too. That is where, if I was you, I would truly start to think about planning and preparing for exactly how you're going to go ahead and execute within your campaign itself there ahead of time, before it even starts. Before you launch this campaign to the public, That's how you know you should have your campaign preparation all set. Promise you, with this preparation, you will be thankful when the time comes that you did so much of this work ahead of time, because even when, let's just say, you do decide to call an audible and mix it up in the middle of the campaign, it's going to be so much more of a stronger executive decision, because you're in the pocket, you're watching what's happening, and you're not playing catch up from day one, right? So many times, the way I teach campaigns, these can be short 4 or 5 day campaigns. You don't want to be caught with your tail between the legs in the middle of it, looking for what comes next and not being able to realistically do what you want to do, where you're kind of like just looking from the watcher's tower, right? You're looking down, you're seeing how things are reacting, what posts are resonating, what things are really hitting, and what's not. And then you can go ahead and start to execute accordingly. Okay, so I want to get into the next P here, the second P that we're going to break down into 4 parts, all right? But before we do that, let me know if you're getting some value from this video right now, and hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, to make sure you're locked into all of our future content as well. So the second P is really just the core principles, right? It is the principles here of a successful campaign. So the first principle we want to dial down on is the hook. When it comes down to creating a hook within a campaign, all you need is a reason. All you need is something special, right? That's why you see people doing these little launches and campaigns when it's their birthday, when it's New Year's, as I mentioned before, when it's Black Friday, when it's something, because at the end of the day, all they needed was a reason, right? And that's the beauty of it. The better you start to get this stuff, you start to realize you can make up your own reasons. I had one of my campaigns, it was called a Summer and May Special. Summer doesn't even start till June, right? I'm just throwing out stuff here. It's like I'm making it up, whatever word you want to use, but in reality, all you need is a reason. Make something special, and now all of a sudden you can start to take advantage and leverage that across your audience there. All right, now the second principle is promise, right? You need a promise, and most importantly, when it comes down to the promise here, you need a promise that is truly desirable. This is where I arguably see the most marketers make the most mistakes, is when it comes down to making a promise here that actually moves the person and wants to get them to really want to take action and join them within their offer and pieces there too. And when it comes down, one of the best ways to honestly kind of realistically overcome this challenge that seems to really buckle a lot of people down is look at your offer and pull out its most desirable part. And now lean that in as a part of your hook and promise here. And that can really start to now just kind of give it some legs of its own and start to run this campaign itself. Having such a strong hook and a promise, as we said, is the first 2 pillars here, are huge. First 2 principles, pillars, however you want to say it, are huge on that side there. So by all means, make sure that you're doubling down on realizing what the true desire is, right? And don't just have that desire be based off of theory, off of your ego. If you can, this is why, and once again, I always say it's best to run one of these campaigns when you've already been building your pipeline, let's just say at least for a couple weeks or a month, because now you've probably heard enough no's, you've gotten enough feedback, you've heard enough objections, and hopefully you've heard some success stories where you can now start to truly weave in the desires that you know your ideal avatar is looking for, because you've been speaking to them within your audience over the past several weeks, months, if not years on that side. The third principle, content. One of the best tips I can give you, and this ties honestly to the first P, if you will, I spoke on here a moment ago, is the preparation. The preparation with your content. The more you can stay ahead of the game with content, I promise you, this will help you so much, especially because I'm about to get into the 4th principle here in a moment. With the 4th principle, it's going to help you because you won't have to worry about the content side. If you can start to prepare your content ahead of time, it is going to be so beneficial. It can allow you to stay in the pocket everywhere else. It's going to have this main private, public-facing content piece already taken care of before day 1 even happens in the campaign there. I cannot undervalue, oversell how important that is right there to any successful campaign. I've had successful campaigns where I was prepared, but I always feel like if I was, probably would have doubled my revenue. So that is why I cannot stress that enough on that side. Make sure that you realistically cover your bases and get your content dialed in way in advance there. It's going to help you out so much. And the way that I usually teach and go about campaigns is kind of 1 or 2 schools of thought. And to keep it simple, there's basically shorter campaigns and there's longer campaigns. I've done campaigns that are literally 4 days long, plenty of them, and I've done campaigns that lasted a month. And I would say that the preparation for the content for both is critical. It doesn't matter the length. But what happens with both of these, especially if it's shorter, I recommend putting out content related to the campaign every single day of that campaign there, right? And arguably when you're starting to get closer towards the end, you want to put out multiple pieces of content. But if you're doing a longer campaign, now maybe you want to do it every day, but you still want to really game plan and strategize around what's the content planner looking like? What's the content calendar looking like? How do you want to balance a little bit of value and a bit of a call to action within the month, within the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever your campaign goes there. But these are the pieces you want to start the game plan out, so that now you know exactly how much call to action content you need, how much value content you need, or if it's a shorter one, straight to the point and just go call to action all day. And really on the conversation of even how do you know whether to put out value, call to actions here, I'm happy to give a training, really drop it in the comments if you want me to, around really the idea of this emotional bank account here, where each piece of content is adding a deposit or withdrawal from your audience, and how you can go ahead and use that knowledge to go ahead and start making sales within your business itself there too. So let me know if you want me to go ahead and create that video for you. Happy to. Just like I said, comment down below and I'll make sure we hook you up. Comment emotional or something, emotional bank account, whatever fancy term you wanted me to call on there. Okay, now the fourth principle, and a powerful one indeed, is not relying on an algorithm, right? Not relying on an algorithm here. Most social media platforms out there rely on algorithms. I'm on YouTube. A lot of this relies on an algorithm. Facebook, your post relies on a TikTok. All these things, all your favorite social media platform, doesn't matter what it is. Now, with that being said, that does not mean that you don't want to post on these things. I'm not telling you not to post on them. It's genius posting on them, right? I'm over here posting on one right now as we're talking. So with that being said, though, you don't want to solely rely on an algorithm, right? You want to put yourself a bit more in the driver's seat here. And if you can allow yourself to do that within even most of these platforms here, it will allow you to easily double, if not triple, your income with any type of campaign here as well. My first ever masterclass that I ran, it's called the 3 C's Masterclass, and really for that, I remember the content did okay, right? It did okay there, but I remember what really kind of showed me the light was how much I was realistically opening up past conversations and selling the masterclass directly. Right, directly to my pipeline through some sort of a DM there too, right? So that's where one of the biggest red flags I see, or biggest mistakes I'll see, is that everyone is just solely focused on the algorithm to really be the leading and driving factor for what either creates success or doesn't create success within a campaign. And know that you want to have that content prepared. That's why I had a whole piece of this as the content preparation behind that. But also the place you want to be very prepared is who is in your pipeline, who is on the fence that this campaign can potentially tip over, right? You created something special. Don't just make it so that now it's either, shoot, hopefully Facebook shows them my stuff here, hopefully YouTube shows them my video, or else I got no chance, right? And that's why I love using things like email marketing, any kind of DMing, right? Texting. These are all places where you have direct access to your prospects there, right? It's hitting their inbox. And you don't have to worry about, oh, hopefully Facebook is only showing my stuff to 10-20% of people in my audience. Hopefully it shows to the people that actually like me the most and are going to most likely actually buy from me, right? And I don't want to play the odds game there. So that's where definitely make sure you're doubling down on just realizing that you have more than one place to leverage. Don't just use your core platform. Go on all the platforms that you've been on consistently, and then take it one step further and start attacking the people, and attacking, obviously a friendly term here, start attacking, messaging the people who are already on the fence and can realistically, you just have a better feel in your gut knowing that these people are probably going to buy a lot more likely than somebody who's just seeing this for the first time and has never really heard it yet. Or maybe they just joined your world yesterday, right? At least over 50% easily of the sales we create in our business come from the follow-up. Don't ignore that fact when it comes to these campaigns. And if you're looking for the icing and the cake when it comes down to this strategy I showed you here today, make sure you click the link above. I'll make sure to drop it there. My secret strategy to sell, all right, using Messenger there. A huge one that's gonna be great for you, because now when you're starting to pull these leads back out from your audience, you wanna make sure that you're actually taking advantage and give yourself the highest chance to convert them. This is not the time to be playing around now that you've gotten their attention. You want to make sure that you're bringing it home. You're crossing the finish line and not sitting back at the first mile waiting for someone to carry you over, right? So like I said, click the link there. We'll make sure we get you hooked up on that one. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below to make sure you're tuned into all of our future videos here. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. All right, we'll catch you next time.